is the Riot Podcast, Friday, February 17th edition. Happy birthday to Nikki, a pre-happy birthday.
That's right. It's Sunday.
And also a happy birthday to Elias and Andlin. They are your birthday
They're my
friends.
birthday weekend buddies.
Yeah, birthday buddies. Let's put it that way.
We wanted to say happy birthday to you guys. Your birthday's tomorrow, and then mine is on Sunday. So it seems like it's a good weekend for everybody.
It's a big birthday weekend, but this podcast is for everybody. It's everybody can listen whenever your birthday is, and it's a good one. Trust me.
So now it's Isaiah's turn to tell you why it's good.
So today on the show.
No, I need more. Like, it doesn't
Today
feel like
on
you're
the show.
There it is.
We talked about Ant-Man, how we feel about the movie coming out this weekend.
Isaiah had a great line
right?
in there. Yeah, it's out. It's out now. You could
it's
go.
out.
You could go watch it if you wanted right now. You want to go? You want to go?
Can I leave work and go?
We should. We
seems as
We
if-
talk about so many movies. I think we should.
It is work.
Get them comped.
I think so too.
Don't ask me if you can go. I'm not
You know
going to
what
be the
they
one
say,
doing
Hudson?
that.
It's better to ask forgiveness than
permission.
You're right.
I know where we keep the cash.
Oh, yes, I love it.
Well, if anybody sees Ant-Man over the weekend, definitely tell us like if it's good or not. I feel like if anybody does see it, it would be on one of our theater's cheaper days.
Yeah.
Not opening weekend,
Yeah,
but I don't know.
I think that's my plan.
The reviews just went down really fast.
They did.
And
they dropped off a cliff.
It was kind of shocking.
We also talked about your credit score.
And what
Whether
you
it's
should do
good,
with it.
Bad, where you should post it. Should you post it? Do you need it?
What can it do for you?
Like, why do you even care? No. If you are into dating currently, this is just another non-traditional approach to how to make your profile stand out a little bit better. And this lady said it worked for her to get some more dates.
Yeah, I think it could be good advice.
Yeah.
Could be a good tactic.
We also talked about some investments.
So tired.
We talked about Wall Street bets.
I just saw the whole
Suing.
weekend right
Did
there.
you see it right there? We talked about Wall Street bets suing Reddit. Some investment stuff for your portfolio.
And don't forget the best thing in the podcast,
What's that?
Zach from Citizens.
Yeah.
Zach from Citizens.
Yay.
That's, of course, in the audio podcast.
So if you're
Only.
watching the video podcast, just go to the video before this. It was our first time catching up with Citizens, so it was really nice to talk to Zach.
That was, we call it a breakout video. If it's on, you can go watch it separately if you're watching the video podcast.
I think we're done, guys.
Yeah, that's enough. My week is over, too.
Everybody's finished. Again, if you catch anything good this weekend, make sure you text us. Let us know so we can talk about it on Monday. You text 877 to RadioU and include your name.
And we'll catch you Monday.
Bye.
See you guys.
The Riot with Hudson and Nikki on Radio U.
All right. There's a debate raging on in the bridal community over proper wedding attire.
Oh, sure. The outfits.
Yeah. Is it okay for the bride in a wedding to wear Crocs?
I saw these.
Yeah. But, so what is your thoughts?
Well, these are not normal ones. They are the fuzzy ones. And then they have
Does that make a difference?
Well, I mean, it's a premium Croc. They're
It should
sparkly.
be more comfortable, I'm sure.
It should be. And these have like pearls on them. So they've been sparkled. And then what's the...
Bedazzled?
Yeah,
Is that-
bedazzled. It's the gibbets.
I hate that word.
I know, isn't it weird?
It's a
But
horrible word.
They say bride on them, so they look really, really, really nice.
Yeah.
And
Well, I don't know about that.
well, they do for Crocs.
I don't know if they look better than regular Crocs.
I think they do. They're more sparkly.
They're flashy, that's for sure.
But the thing is, when you have like prom or homecoming or your wedding, it really depends on the dress that you pick because sometimes your shoes don't show.
Yeah.
So a lot of people wear sneakers.
You could get away with it.
Yeah, you wear something more comfortable. So I think these are fine.
You think you would let these slide?
If you could not see my feet, yes. If they're more comfortable,
if
yes.
they're visible, though, that's where you draw the line?
Or some people change in at the reception. I would totally wear these on that side of it.
Maybe this is a better question. Would you frown upon if you were at a wedding and the bride was wearing Crocs.
No, not
that
at
wouldn't
all.
be a problem to you?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think it would
I wouldn't
either.
stay long enough. Who likes going to weddings?
No, yeah. I don't know. It would. I don't think it would bother me because it's her big day.
She can do what she wants.
And if she wants to be comfortable and ruin the look of the rest of her dress that she's put together, probably really nicely done hair, great makeup, a nice dress, and then she wants to mess that all up by wearing Crocs.
That's her
That's
business.
her choice. It's her business.
But again, most dresses you can't see your shoes.
That's right.
So you're fine. For one bride, she was wearing Crocs for her reception and Converse for her ceremony.
Yeah,
Because
that
again,
sounds like
you can't see
something
them.
I can picture. And the other thing, and some people did point this out in the, if you go on the comments section online, is that a lot of times brides wind up barefoot by the time the whole deal is over anyways, once you get to the dancing and whatever. So who cares? Like if you're wearing Crocs or you're barefoot or whatever, just wear whatever you want.
Oh, look at that. You have Hudson's approval now.
I know.
Wear what you want.
I don't think it looks cool. I definitely don't, but that doesn't mean you can't do it.
Did you see someone's comment? The only reason Crocs have holes in them is to let all your self-respect and dignity run out through them.
Wow. People really hate Crocs.
They're harsh.
It's so crazy.
That's fine.
I don't get it. I would never wear them myself personally, but I just don't understand why people have such visceral reactions to seeing other people in Crocs. Plus, if you look at the bedazzled Crocs, they've plugged up all the holes so all their dignity can stay inside.
And your feet will sweat. So Etsy is totally the place to go if you want to get stylized Crocs that have some shimmer to them and bling and the gibbets and all that stuff. So that's where a lot of people get them done.
Yeah, there's options for you if this is intriguing to you. The last thing that I thought was funny, though, is thinking, I think it's fine for a bride to wear Crocs, but if any guest showed up at a wedding wearing Crocs,
that's too much for you.
They would be drawn and quartered, I think. It would, I picture.
It feels like you haven't been to a wedding in a while.
I don't know. I think the guests have a higher expectation sometimes, than
Depends on the wedding.
Wearing Crocs. Like, what are you, the dude? The Big Lebowski? Gonna be rolling up there.
So now if you're going to the same wedding as Hudson, don't do it.
Yeah.
He'll judge you.
You won't be. Trust me.
Hudson and Isaiah seem like they know a lot about sports, yet somehow it's Nikki that always gets it right. The Riot, Radio U.
You're familiar with the movie Pitch Perfect, right? You've seen that?
Yes. I mean,
All
it's
of
been.
them?
No, I think I only watched the first one.
First one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Was there 2 or 3?
3.
3 of them?
And a Pitch Perfect series as well.
Oh, I thought you say Christmas special.
No, maybe. I cannot confirm or deny that.
There was a TV series?
Yeah, Pitch Perfect, Bumper in Berlin on Peacock.
Didn't know that.
Starring Adam Devine's character Bumper Allen in Berlin, I'm assuming. But I've never seen the Pitch Perfect movies, but as I understand it, there's a character in the movies that goes by the name Fat Amy.
Yeah,
Is that true?
Was Rebel Wilson.
Rebel Wilson.
Yeah.
Okay. I do know Rebel Wilson, and I'm seeing here that she says she is lamenting the fact that as part of her contract for the Pitch Perfect movies, she was not she was not allowed to lose weight.
Oh,
Yeah, she had to stick when it was filming time. She had to be around the same weight. She could not lose or gain more than 10 pounds from whatever the set weight was that she was at.
I honestly don't think that's too uncommon for contracts. Even if you were at a lower weight, I think they want you to look pretty similar during a filming or if you're in a series.
I'm glad you said that because I didn't want to come here guns blazing saying, I don't think it's that bad that she wasn't allowed to lose weight.
I think that's pretty common.
I do too. And I feel like and I think this about, I say this about sports a lot too, where you'll have athletes that want to, they'll sign a contract someplace and then they want to get traded a year or two later because they don't like it there. Well, you signed the contract. And that's what I think about this too. I know it's hard to get a break in Hollywood. It's hard to get a start. And I don't know that it always means that everything that's ever written into a contract is correct or not correct, but, is right, is moral.
But it's what they do.
But it's what's in there, and so you agreed to it. So I don't have a lot of, I'm not going to shed too many tears.
But it
about
looks
this.
like, she was just talking about how she'd wanted to get healthier earlier, but she was stereotyped, at least in that role. And I think it's also hard because you'll have certain movies that they'll just bring back, 5 or 10 years later. And if you're playing that character, then they might still expect that.
Yeah, maybe that's why she hasn't showed up in Pitch Perfect Bumper in Berlin. She's lost too much weight by now.
I just have a feeling you're like, well, I'd probably pass on that.
Yeah, you don't want to be pigeonholed as Fat Amy your entire career, which she has seemed to move on from. The other thing I was thinking, though, and obviously this might be a little insensitive, but I wouldn't mind
if
my contract said I wasn't allowed to lose weight. I'd love to have that as an excuse.
Oh, as motivation?
Yeah, sorry. I really would love to eat healthier, work out more, but I'm not allowed to lose weight.
There will never be in radio, not just like RadioU, but just like in the career of radio, you'll probably never get forced into a clause like that.
No, you don't think so?
No, because a lot of times...
We could write it in, though. Nobody has to know it was my idea.
That's true.
I wrote that in. I'm not allowed to lose weight for the show.
Like most other radio stations, it's traditionally a very unhealthy lifestyle, so they're not changing that.
Yeah.
They think that the more unhealthy you are, the better you sound on the radio.
Yeah. Well, the more relatable, too.
That's it.
Yeah. Well, that's Rebel Wilson, not allowed to lose weight in her role.
She was not allowed.
Not allowed, shockingly, when she played Fat Amy. Although, wouldn't it be funny if she came back in the third movie and she was like way thinner? And they still called her that?
You won't hear a show like this anywhere else. And that's probably for the best. The Worst of the Riot. Radio U.
What I've heard a lot of people say since the Super Bowl is, I already miss football.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
We haven't even made it through a weekend yet.
Yeah.
You wouldn't even have football if we had it right now.
That's right. But people already saying it. I just can't wait for football to be back already. Well, I have good news for you people. Football is back. It's back tomorrow with the XFL.
Oh, the XFL.
I don't want to hear anybody complaining, I miss football. If you really miss football, you'll be watching the XFL when it pops onto your TV tomorrow. And the XFL, this is new. This is a new league, right?
But it's a new old league.
It's a new old league.
Okay,
from like 2 years ago.
Yeah, and then there's the other one, right?
Before that.
The USFL.
That's the one. Because I saw a couple of ads for that during NFL.
Yeah, they're working
during the real one.
I didn't want to correct you, but I've heard a lot of people who've been saying they have been missing football, but they've been saying they've been missing college and NFL football. So they were specifically missing
said that?
Yeah.
Well, this is professional football.
This is not professional football.
It's professional football. They get
I think
played.
Ohio State would beat any of these teams, and I feel confident about it.
I think we should set that up. Listen to these players that are going to be playing. A.J. McCarron, remember him?
From Alabama 10 years ago?
Yeah, and now he had a long, successful NFL career.
He did not have a successful NFL career.
He did. He made a lot of money.
He never played.
He made a lot of money.
He never played a game.
He made a lot of money to not play. That's
he was a
as successful as you can be, if you ask me. What about Josh Gordon?
I remember him.
Remember him? Your favorite Cleveland Brown?
Don't say that. I like Josh Gordon as a player. Off the field, issues.
And he still could cut it in the NFL if he could just stop, with his stuff. But he's going to be on the Seattle Sea
He could stop going to jail. He would be a great NFL player.
If he could just stop being suspended.
And if he wasn't 40 years old.
If the NFL would just loosen their standards a little bit, he could play. And now he is getting to play in the XFL.
Pardon me for not knowing. Is the XFL all like retired NFL players or ones that got kicked off teams that have just not been brought back in?
I think
what are they?
Maybe some guys with off the field issue. It depends. The majority of the league is probably guys that wouldn't be able to cut it in the NFL. They'd be on a practice squad or something. But there's also guys that maybe they've made the decision that the NFL, they could get paid a meager amount of money by NFL standards to sit on the bench or something like that.
Or be a star.
Yeah, they could kind of get a lot of playing time and make a small name for themselves in the XFL instead.
Well, you really sold it.
Yeah, but I mean, this is football, and if you don't want to watch the XFL, you've got to go February, March, April, May. That's a lot of months.
It is
until August at least without any football at all. So. Is that something you really want to do with yourself?
So for the XFL, it also feels like, is it like smaller stadiums or crowds?
Yes.
Is
Yes.
it in a
Smaller
is
than
it
the
in a
NFL.
conference hall?
It's more of like a youth league, if you imagine.
I don't know why you hate the XFL so much.
I'm not like a hype. I don't like to hype it up because I know when people watch it, they're going to be let down.
They're going to be disappointed. It's a
Do they have
different
the same
style.
rules or?
I don't know what the different special rules are.
They have
for
like a
the
couple
XFL.
little
It's
special
definitely
things,
different.
but like nothing that would be, if you were watching it and not paying that much attention, nothing you would really notice.
Exactly.
It's not
still
flag
football,
right?
It's not flag football
it's
now.
Still football.
So do you have a team?
Have
you not decided yet?
I haven't picked one. I got to see how they play first.
Oh, you're going to be a bandwagon fan.
Yeah, I am because
wanna
there's
pick a good team?
There's not a local team either. So
Yeah.
also, I haven't even seen like the logos or
The
anything.
uniforms,
yeah, I need
colors.
to see them out on the field. I'll tell you, I'm not going to cheer for the Orlando Guardians.
Is it only 8 teams?
Yeah, it's only 8.
Oh.
So we've got.
Oh my gosh, there's the Sea Dragons, the Renegades, the Battlehawks, the Roughneck. It's all the names you
I can't
assume.
decide.
Kind of like the Roughnecks.
I
Yeah.
can't decide if the
Vegas
Battlehawks is
Vipers.
cool or if it's too much.
Oh, sure.
Also, apparently the Battlehawks always has to be written in all caps.
It does?
That makes me feel like it's too much. But you can get your football fix tomorrow, Saturday, starting at 3 p.m. Eastern on ABC. If this wasn't real football, why are they putting it on ABC?
The ABC, they're all running out of stuff to run.
It's Vegas Vipers against Arlington Renegades.
Nice. Well,
We'll kick off
anybody-
the XFL season.
If anybody's into the XFL, or if you watch it, let us know. And if it does become popular, we'll be happy to join as fans then.
Yeah. Oh, I'll give you a report on Monday.
Okay, let us know
of
how it was.
how the XFL goes.
The only thing Isaiah loves more than the riot is himself.
Someone who probably still lives with his mother and hates himself.
You're listening to The Riot on Radio U.
There's somebody listening right now, and they're thinking, my life's going pretty good. Mm-hmm. They're thinking, I'm pretty happy. I'm not upset about anything. Things are going my way. All my bills are paid. I got a happy family life or whatever. Isn't that crazy?
Well, I'm afraid. Like, are you saying something changing?
No, I'm just saying it's crazy that there are people out there
Oh, sure.
that are like that. But you don't want to know what's even crazier. This is crazy. Is that even if you're happy with everything in your life, that God can make it better. I'm doing a terrible sales pitch right now because normally it'd be like, yeah, there's something from your life and it's missing. And I'm not going to do that to you. I think if you're happy with your life, I think that's great. I do think it can be better though.
Well, I think we all go through times of like, it's great, maybe not so great, or when it's so great, but you don't realize like, yes, there is opportunities for it to be even better.
Be even better. Yeah, don't get complacent. Don't rest on your laurels. And one of my mottos is great is good, but amazing is great. And I think things can be amazing for you. And I mean it. And it's true that God can add to your life, even if your life is going pretty darn perfect. God can still add to it. Jesus can still make things better for you. And if you're somebody, the majority of us, where life isn't going perfect and great, think about how much better God can make your life. Jesus can do it for anybody, no matter how great or not great things are going for you. Jesus and his love and a relationship with him can make your life better. It not only can, it will make your life better. And all you have to do is ask for it. Say, hey, God, I want you in my life. I want you to show me something better than what I have going on right now, no matter how good or bad my situation is right now. God, make it better for me. And he will. If you want to know more, radiou.com/free gift.
Add a little riot to your Instagram feed. Follow at Radio U Official. The Riot. Radio U.
Right now, it's time for our weekend watch list with special guest Isaiah.
Oh, welcome to the watch list.
Yeah.
Yay.
Isaiah gets included in the weekend watch list
Is that
when
because you expect him to watch it?
he might be the first one to go out and see the top billed new movie this weekend, and that is obviously Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania.
Boom!
Yeah. Now, Isaiah, I don't know, how much does it sully your excitement for the new Ant-Man movie that it is just getting roasted in the reviews?
I'm not bothered.
You're not?
It doesn't bother you?
I'm unbothered.
Okay.
It's got
Because
a-
you weren't bothered enough to go see it? Like, is this a word game?
I think that I will go see it in theaters because I think it looks good via the previews, and I like
Yeah.
the people that are in it, and I feel like overall Ant-Man has been like controversial. His movies not controversial, but like they haven't been well liked. And I've liked
By
his
people
movies.
like Nikki.
Yeah, exactly. And I've liked
He's
his
an
movies.
ant.
Yeah, I've liked all the Ant-Man movies. I think they're funny, and so I'm a fan of them, even though I don't think they're the most liked Marvel movies.
But I was shocked because this started maybe a week or so ago. Everybody was so excited for Ant-Man because even I acknowledged like the first two, everyone really liked them.
The trailers were very popular.
Trailers look nice, and then they started saying how like the CGI is bad,
Which is standard for a Marvel movie. We can get past that, though.
You can get past that, but
we
they
can
just
look
said
past that.
They just said it's really not good. Like it's shockingly not good.
Yeah, even though it's confusing too, because last week when the first look reviews were coming out, first of all, everybody, and I think even the negative reviews still keep praising the new antagonist of the movie, Kang the Conqueror, Jonathan Majors, who plays him. Nobody still has a bad thing to say about him, and so that was all the reviews that came out like a week ago. But now like the full reviews are coming out, and it's kind of like, other than that though, it's
not good.
Yeah, I'm also, I'll say my excitement is dampered. It's put a damper on my excitement.
Don't let them ruin your time.
Well, I'm still gonna go see it, but that is where I have a theory. I have a crazy theory for you that I'm going to go still see Ant-Man and the Wasp. And maybe that's partly because Paul Rudd, and I would just see anything Paul Rudd is in. But the other thing, I was thinking that if you chopped off all the Marvel movies, let's say the Marvel movies didn't exist prior to, like, everything from Endgame and older didn't exist, how would we see the Marvel universe since then?
Oh, sure. Like, is it really that good?
We'd see it like the DC universe.
Yeah, it's gone down.
It's gone way.
But they haven't gotten into the good stuff yet, though.
Oh,
whose fault is that?
Very optimistic.
Well, I'm thinking about like the older. If you think about the beginning times of this past series or whatever, in the beginning, like there was the Iron Man movies; those were good, in my opinion. And then there were some other movies that I think in the beginning, like the Captain America in the beginning and the Thor movies, that probably weren't that exciting and didn't really like catch on till we got like more into the plot of like the Endgame, Infinity Saga, whatnot, until at the end of the series. And so I think that's when it got really good, for me at least. And so this is just the beginning times. They're setting everything up. I will be patient.
Is it a rebuilding season?
I think they're just setting it all up. And then like a year from now, we'll be like, oh my gosh, this makes it so much better.
You nailed that, Nikki. It's a rebuilding. We got a lot of good draft picks.
Yeah,
we do.
We're
up against
over.
the salary cap, and so we're going to have to sell everything off, and you're going to have to go through a few losing seasons before we get back into title contention.
This is the boring setup time, and then like a year from now, once we really get going in the new plot, I think it'll be better.
Well, why can't we just skip the boring
because you
setup season?
have to have the setup in the beginning, like
why does the setup have to be
blocks.
boring?
That's just how it is. The building blocks, like the Captain America original movie and the original Iron Man movies, if you look at those right next to Endgame, you would say those are terrible movies compared to Endgame.
I mean, they're not as good, but that doesn't mean they weren't good for their time.
No, the issue is that, during COVID and Hollywood kind of lost its way and movies lost its way, and then streaming was such a bigger priority, and then budget cuts were such a big priority. And it seems like with Ant-Man, they just took a couple steps back.
I don't know.
We haven't even seen it yet. We haven't seen the movie. It could be amazing.
You don't need to.
I'm with you on that. I just think that here's how I see it. That Iron Man was good enough to set up the other things, as in the movie on its own got people excited enough.
You didn't even know any better, though.
To continue on. But if we started with Black Widow or Spider-Man Far From Home or something like that, and that's where everything started out, they're okay, but it would just be like DC movies where it's like, well, there's some mild excitement, some people that really love the characters, or like somebody involved would really be into it, but the average person wouldn't really be excited, and that's where we are.
I get what you're saying.
I
The
get what
average
you're
people
saying,
are still holding on to excitement because of what we've seen in the past, and we're still hoping for that, and maybe it will come. But
what do you think it'll make?
Yeah, we need to have a prediction, huh?
Anybody have a prediction? I say 155.
Whoa,
155
that's
million.
optimistic, I feel.
And then it'll drop.
I didn't do my research, so I've got to come with Isaiah, you want to go first?
134.
134,
134.
good.
I'll say 120.
120?
Yeah,
All right.
120 million.
And there's a couple other movies that are smaller out this weekend, but none of them matter. So
Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey?
Oh, is that finally out? I just said none of them matter.
Yeah. None will make as much as Ant-Man, that's for sure.
Hudson, Nikki, The Riot on Radio U.
What I do know is that if you are somebody who might find yourself on a United Airlines flight sometime soon, you are going to be presented with up to 3 new complimentary snack options.
Oh, is that all they have?
What do you mean? That's pretty exciting.
Everybody still really hates airline stuff from their last debacles from the last few months.
Yeah.
And you know that their pricing's going up, and they're like, well, let's pacify them by feeding.
Let's let them have a win when they get a win. Okay?
Well, what are the new snack options? And can we only pick one, or do we get all 3?
No, you get one. Now, the classic on a United Airlines flight is they have the Biscoff cookies, they have pretzels, and they have stroopwafels.
Oh, they do.
Yeah.
I like a stroopwafel.
I think it depends on which flight, but you would get at least 2 of those options to choose from.
Now, if you ever get a stroopwafel and you have a cup of coffee, you're supposed to put it on top of the coffee, so it warms it up.
So I would, out of those 3, I'd take the stroopwafel.
Sure.
Would you over the Biscoff?
I would.
Yeah, I would too. But let's see if any of the 3 new options, which will start rolling out on flights on March 1st. And then you should have all of the options available to you starting on flights in April on United. Okay. Option number 1, dark chocolate and sea salt chocolate crisps by Undercover Snacks.
It's puffed quinoa.
It's puffed quinoa. Okay. Well, we're not picking that, are we?
It's gluten-free.
But it's gluten-free.
It's kosher.
Non-GMO.
It's covered in chocolate, but it's dark chocolate. And sea salt.
But sea salt, though.
Yeah, I don't know.
But quinoa. I don't
Put that one to the side.
Yeah, you're definitely not choosing that over stroopwafel.
No.
Okay, how about this? Apple and mango fruit bar by That's It.
Is it like a fruit strip sort of thing or a granola bar with fruit in it?
It says it is a snack bar made entirely of only apple and mango.
Oh, I'm going to need more than that.
So I'm going to see a picture.
So far, no
of
good
this
on this.
thing. But it's healthier options, though.
No one wants that on the plane. That's the time for you to let loose.
Oh, what if you're on a diet or something? Or you're gluten intolerant?
You shouldn't be flying. No,
Yeah, what are you doing on the flight? Okay.
What are you doing going on vacation?
Yeah, shouldn't you just be stuck up at home in a
Dieting?
bubble? Yeah, and then finally, okay, if neither of those can win you over, how about Savory Snack Mix by Summer Harvest? It includes a medley of rye bagel chips, garlic bread bites, and pretzel twists.
Basically, they're giving you the pretzels and croutons.
That sounds like the 3rd best option.
That could be good.
But I mean, obviously, you're taking the stroopwafel and Biscoff over each of these by a country mile. Or rewards mile.
I have not heard that term before.
Country
by a country mile.
Yeah.
No.
You never heard that?
No.
A country mile is like a mile, but it's...
because no one lives near each other?
Yeah, so it's like a mile, but longer. So it's not an actual measurement. It's not the measurement of a mile. It's like a country mile is longer than a regular mile.
No, I saw these people who were doing flights, and they would make snack boxes. And so you just bring like meats and cheeses and crackers and your own stuff. Because I feel
that sounds stinky.
We feel so threatened, like you can't bring anything onto the plane, and it'll be taken at security.
Yeah.
But you can bring food. You can bring your own stuff.
But then you have to pay for that. And I think you should milk. You said it. The price just keeps going up. You're paying a lot of money. You got to milk them for all it's worth. You got to like steal the snack cart while they're not looking.
Yeah,
it's complimentary.
Next time you fly United, take an apple mango bar.
And save it because
save it forever.
You paid for that apple mango bar.
The words too expensive aren't in Nikki's vocabulary. This is The Riot. Radio U.
Now, Isaiah, you have a portfolio, don't you?
Extensive.
You do not.
He does.
I do.
He's an investor.
I am.
Right.
Yeah. You got any good ones?
You want me to share my investments on the radio?
Yeah,
I think that's illegal.
Advice. It's not advice.
I think that's illegal.
Is that insider trading?
Yeah, you got.
That's not
What do you
allowed.
got? Some ETFs or something?
Some ETFs?
Yeah.
I actually do have some ETFs.
I knew you have some ETFs because you're a smart
I'm
investor.
a smart investor.
Yeah.
That's all I invest in
Now,
primarily.
When you got started when you
That's you guys just did DraftKings.
We do that too.
that's
Another
also an
extensive
investment.
portfolio.
Also an investment.
That's a lot of people's investing ways nowadays.
No, but since you're an investor, did you get in on all of the
Yes.
the GameStop situation a couple of years back?
I did.
You got in on that? Did you get on AMC?
I was on GameStop. I was not on AMC.
Did you
So
make
that's where other investors basically prop up a company, and you start, making it more valuable than what it really traditionally should be for a certain amount of time.
I forget what the term was. I learned so many stock terms when the GameStop thing was happening that
it's called
I've now
game
forgotten.
stopping.
That's what it's called now. But did you make any money off of that deal?
Yeah, I made a little bit of money, like $100 or something like that.
Sweet.
Nothing crazy.
Did you? So if everybody doesn't remember, when the GameStop stock stuff started going on, a big player in that was a subreddit called Wall Street Bets. It was actually founded in 2012, but obviously it rose to a lot of notoriety, particularly during the GameStop and AMC stock crisis of 2021. Well, the founder of Wall Street Bets on Reddit is now suing Reddit because he says he was unfairly maligned and demonized by Reddit, where they basically did a lot of things to stand in his way from making money off of his Wall Street Bets cred that he had developed. Some of the things that they did, they removed him from his role as moderator in 2020. They also got in the way of they aggressively opposed his application to file a trademark for Wall Street Bets, and instead Reddit went ahead and filed one for itself. So that's just kind of the tip of the iceberg of this guy basically thinks that although he used the Reddit platform
took it from him of what he built.
Yeah, they took his thing that he built on Reddit and kind of stopped him from being able to capitalize on all of that. What do we think of all this?
Isaiah, you're the one who...
I think it's wrong, but I think it makes sense.
Sure.
Because I think that if you mess with people who have a lot of money, if you mess with them, which is essentially what this guy was doing,
and you're smaller,
and you're a smaller guy,
it's gonna happen.
Yep, you're gonna get kicked off. That's how it goes. All the big stock traders and whatnot were shorting the stocks for GameStop and AMC and all that jazz. And so once he figured it out and got everybody to go against them, when you cost people who have a lot of money, they get upset with you and you lose. And unfortunately,
the thing is,
he's lost.
Those people still have a lot of money.
Yep.
And they're going to I bet you they are going to help Reddit, and they were helping Reddit back then, and they're going to continue to help Reddit in this case because they don't want this guy. His name is Jamie Rogozinski.
To make more money.
Yeah. But I'm sure he made a lot of money during that time period.
He's probably still doing fine, but maybe they don't want him continuing to get the word out about ways that the little people can get in the way of the big investors.
So he's suing for damages of $1 million.
Ooh, $1 million.
Yeah.
I feel like it should be more. Not that I have any expertise. I just feel like that feels like a small amount to sue for.
Sometimes
to go through all the trouble. It
is harder when they sue for way more outside of that. Then you're like, well, you're just trying to milk the situation. But maybe this is a more practical amount.
He's being so reasonable. He must be right.
Yeah, it's just a trick with it.
He just wants his forum back. Come on.
Right. Which sounds so sad too. I just want to be a mod again. Come on.
Let me back in where I'll make more money.
Please, all my friends are in there. I'm not in there.
While Isaiah is wishing for a girlfriend, Nikki and Hudson are just wishing for any friend at all. The Riot. RadioU.
I've got a exciting breakthrough here in artificial intelligence that could, listen to this, it could tell you how your date is going in real time.
So you let it listen in?
It's, here's what it does. Here's how it works. You put on basically a wearable. I'm imagining a Fitbit or, Apple Watch, something of that nature. You put on a watch. It's keeping track of vital signs for you. And the other person obviously would have to agree because it needs to be able to tell. It needs to be able to read vital signs and stuff like that. But if you did that, it would be able to tell you based off of like stuff that the person might not even realize.
If it's going well?
If the date is going well or if it's just a bust.
What if it hears her say, hey, I'm going to the restroom and never coming back? Maybe that's an ultimate sign.
That's, you don't need
the
AI to figure that one out.
Okay.
Yeah.
The old-fashioned way.
Where you're like, I don't think it's going well.
Yeah, but I don't know. Isaiah, you're the one that's out dating now. Do you think this would take the pressure off? Or would you
Would it
do
be
this?
helpful
This
to
would
have
put the pressure on, I
the
feel.
data
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
afterwards to see how things were going?
I think that I would. There's no chance it would ever work out if I did this. Because if I had to ask the girl I'm going on a date with, hey, do you mind wearing this little wristband?
What if
This is going to tell us whether we're compatible or not. Right off the rip, she's going to be freaked out. She's going to be like, oh my gosh, this guy wants to marry
That's not
me.
what you do.
He's a
No,
weirdo.
listen.
This is super odd. He's making me put on this wristband to see if we're compatible.
There's a
It's
way
for
around
you.
that.
Got it.
There's a
It's
way
for
around
you.
that. You come to the date and you meet and you go, hey, I got you something, a little token.
On our first date.
Yeah, here, a Fitbit.
That'd be so insulting.
I got you an Apple Watch.
Yeah.
That's better.
Thanks for
That's
going on
better.
a date with me.
Yeah.
I'd put that yet again if I came bearing a gift of that magnitude. Seems odd.
See what the vital signs say after
No.
you open up with that, though.
Basically, it's to see if you think the date is going well. Not
Got
so
it.
much
Well,
as
shouldn't
is
you be the
she.
judge of that?
No, like it's just deciding on like, do you have any, like your respiration, heart rate, perspiration, just to show like, are you excited and having a good time?
Well, they also say that, because this all sounds kind of frivolous, doesn't it? I mean, we go on dates and we can tell by the end of the date if it went well for us or not. But they also say they think that this from the University of Cincinnati developed this process, and they say this could also be very helpful for like educators, if you're a teacher, to know if you're connecting with like people you're teaching.
Oh, morning
or,
show host. Super
You got good
connected.
chemistry.
therapists.
With the listeners.
And this would be really helpful for, they say, autistic people, perhaps, because obviously they sometimes will have trouble reading, like,
Reading the
cues from
signs,
other people. So
yeah.
this would actually be a big help for that. So this could be actually helpful technology. It could also be used very frivolously on like a reality show to see, to have like monitoring dates in real time and see how people are reacting to what's going on.
I feel like Fox is picking that up right now.
Yeah.
So that is
Farmer
coming
wants a
soon.
Fitbit coming.
Yeah. You get to keep your Apple Watch if you do the show.
So you wouldn't do it then.
I would lean
Even if
against.
there was a way to get around the weirdness of opening up the date with, hey, put this on real quick.
I think so. I think because I probably would have the way that I think about the date, whether I think it went good or bad. And then if I got the results back and it disagreed with me, then I would be thrown. I'd be like, I thought that was a really good date. And then I'd lose confidence. Or I'd be like, I thought that was a terrible date. I'd be like, it looks like I really liked it. I don't know. This
No,
feels
then maybe
weird.
you'd circle back and give it another chance.
Yeah, but I feel like I would rather just go off my gut instinct than have all this data trying to boggle my mind.
Well, Brian texted in and said, how do you get the wristband back at the end of the date if it's not a good date? It actually is just your wristband monitoring yourself.
I feel like we're getting way too caught up.
You're adding this whole
You're not getting that
other
wristband
layer.
back, man.
It's your wristband, your body, your monitoring on if you think the date is going well.
It's telling you how you feel.
Yes.
Because sometimes it's hard to figure out, you know?
just don't
yeah.
Whether you are happy or sad. I mean, this morning I'm questioning it as I'm living right now. How am I feeling?
Make sure you have the app going.
Yeah.
So.
Find more Riot content online. Riot.radiou.com.
It is the Riot on Radio U, and this is a big morning for us because we finally get the chance to talk to Zach from Citizens joining us.
Woo!
We played Citizens for a while now. Good to finally get to meet you, the man
Good
behind the
morning.
music.
How are you doing?
Good to be here. I'm so good. How are you all?
We're wonderful
Doing
now.
great.
Everybody can hop over to Radio U Riot on Facebook or our YouTube channel to watch this. But are you in a cabin or
Yeah.
what? Where is your location here?
I am in a cabin, and as you can see, there's just tons of things around me because the pipes burst in the cabin.
Oh,
so
no.
just everything got brought upstairs.
Oh
So,
gosh! So do you live in the cabin, or is this just like where you work, or what do you do?
so this in a weird way, yes, I do live in a cabin, but this is another cabin on this property.
Now, Zach, I'm going to tell you, this is exactly how I thought you would be. Definitely, you seem so artistic and a cabin type person, so I'm not surprised. And now that you have two cabins.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
It does look cozy, though, despite the pipe situation.
Yeah, it is cozy. It's a nice little spot. I love it.
So, Zach, the first thing I want to ask you is trying to do research.
Make it good. This is our first time talking to him.
That's
all right. Let's make it good.
Trying to do research for this interview is a little difficult because usually I just like to peruse a bunch of your social media, but you don't do a lot of posting.
Oh, for personal stuff?
Yeah. What do you have against social media?
Oh, it rots my soul.
Amen to that.
I'm with you.
I understand.
I'm with you.
I don't know. It's funny. I was on there this morning and I saw everyone posting their Valentine's, with their spouse or significant other posts. And I was like, well, I guess I missed my opportunity for that one this year. So.
You miss all your stuff. Well, do you feel like...
Hopefully my wife will still love me.
Well, I know Hudson can, because Hudson doesn't do as much as like the rest of us who are glued to our phones.
Yeah.
Do you find
I don't even have an Instagram.
And that we're still mad at you
Good
about.
for you.
Mad. Yeah. Do you feel like that helps or hurts or makes it harder when you do band stuff to realize, you have to have all that social media when it comes to citizen stuff?
I think the part that's the hardest for me is, when I first connected with music, I just loved the mystery that was around all these artists I would listen to. I didn't know all their stories. I didn't know everything about them. Or are they writing this about, a friend, a spouse, or all those different things? And I feel like social media creates this layer and expectation where, even me, when I get on it, it's like you want to know more about this person. And there's something about that I think is pretty cool, the access. But then at the same time, I like the mystery too of not needing to just give all the details.
Yeah.
Like letting people experience the art, how they're going to experience it, and not always need to provide context.
Yeah, that makes sense. So Hudson, you're denied. There's no more personal stuff.
That's all right. Well, you know what? I'm just
Except
glad
that he's
for
in a cabin.
Someone else that supports me and not using it.
You have found
It just makes my job
friend.
a little more difficult is all.
Well, this is Zach from Citizens. You guys are celebrating next weekend. I Can't Find the Edges of You, which is your new album. How long did it take you guys to put this all together? And is that like a traditional time frame for Citizens albums, or how long does that usually last?
It did take a while for this one. Part of that was I moved to this
other cabin
away from Washington, which is where we all met. We all met in the state of Washington, and so making this record was a little bit harder because we weren't all in the same place anymore. But I'm really glad about that because we didn't really set out to make, in the past, we've always had this sort of really focused theme for every record. And this one, we just needed to write a bunch of songs to figure out what it was. And that took a long time. So for
a bunch of songs, like sometimes our bands will be like, we wrote 50, 60. Some hip hop, groups will come in. They're like, we wrote 100. Like when you go into the studio for Citizens, is it traditionally you write pretty much what you need, or do you have to write when you're in there because you're behind, or do you have too many?
This time we had too many. Normally it's about, we go into the studio with like 3 songs and then about 9 songs that are halfway there, and this time we had about 30 songs that were done.
Wow.
But we also knew pretty quickly the ones that we wanted to be on the record and which ones we didn't. I did something a little different on this record where I invited other people into the process. Normally it's just been Brian and I. Brian's the keyboard player in the band, and I don't know, there was something really special about bringing other people in and providing their perspective, especially around the theme of this record, which I really appreciated because I wasn't really giving people a whole lot of details, but it just was naturally the place that we were all coming from. And I really, I think that's what makes this collection of songs really strong.
So what would you say is the theme of the new album then?
That we're all not as smart as we think.
Oh, that's good. That's
like
a very good one.
I read something this morning. I wish I could remember it, but it was just the idea of it was that we can create, especially within faith, we can create these sort of prescriptive kind of guidelines that we want God to live within. And for me, I was really thinking through a lot of stuff with just how in my own life I did that, and I didn't like that. For one, because this sort of really restrictive space that I was kind of allowing God to occupy in my head, or even better said, in my imagination, it was just not working.
Yeah.
And because it was always like too small of a God. And so as I sort of let go of that and accepted the fact that I was really hanging on to things that were more a comfort rather than a willingness to embrace a lot of mystery and questions that I just don't have answers for. That is what really kind of set us out on this journey of wanting to, not even wanting to, of just naturally making a record about faith and acknowledging that God is a bit bigger than we all realize, and that can scare us, and sometimes it does, or it can draw us out of our discomfort and out of our vulnerabilities and into something that actually brings us life.
I like that.
Beautifully said.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear the new album.
This is Zach from Citizens. It comes out next weekend, so I can't find the edges of you.
Well, now the title makes a whole lot more sense.
I know it does, doesn't it?
It does, doesn't it? Yeah.
Well, we're just excited because every Citizen song that we get to hear is just it seems so beautifully crafted and so comforting and just so motivating and moving. So we always have and always will appreciate you guys as a band.
Well, thank you so much. Honestly, you guys have been playing us for a while, and it means a ton. So
awesome.
Thanks.
Well, we're happy to play you, and it's good to get to finally meet you, Zach.
To see the cabin.
Yes.
Yep,
You know, now we're friends.
And hopefully we didn't reveal too much of Zach's mystery.
Oh, yeah. Well,
no, I am just in case anyone wants to know, I am wearing pants right now. So.
Our bands are
The
not always
questions
doing
on
that
all
with
of our
interviews.
minds.
Well, we again appreciate you taking the time. We're so excited for the new project. Of course, find them if you want to go to RadioU.com for more details on Citizens. We're just excited for more songs.
Yeah. Should we do Love Light?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right. This is the latest from Citizens, Love Light. Thanks, Zach. It's The Riot.
Thank you.
Disinformation, mispronunciations, bad impressions. That's Hudson. This is The Riot on RadioU.
Now, Nikki's birthday coming up on Sunday, and I can't help but feel that that the makers of John Wick knew that your birthday was coming up.
That I needed it this weekend.
Yeah, so they put
agree.
out the final trailer for John Wick Chapter 4, which the movie is coming out, what is it, March 24th is the release date for that?
March 24th.
And
which I forgot it was actually so soon.
I kind of thought it was later on too, but hey, we're not complaining, right? John Wick Chapter 4, what did you think of the final trailer?
I think it looks good. I'm fine with it.
Did it add anything to it to you? I guess it did its job of reminding you that it's coming up real soon.
It did, and I like this style of fighting movies. Listen, it doesn't have to be deep. We don't have to have a big story to it. It doesn't have to be good that way. The acting doesn't even have to be great.
Not really.
I just like stylized fighting. And John Wick always delivers on that.
And it's not just that John Wick looks real cool. Donnie Yen, who is a blind assassin with the sword in the movie, that looks real awesome. There is, and I know this is just how John Wick movies are, and a lot of suspension of disbelief and stuff like that. But there was one scene in the trailer that did catch my eye, where John Wick shoots a guy in the head multiple times up against a giant I think it's a giant drum.
Yeah. What's wrong with that? The suspension of disbelief with that?
I mean, it's cool, but where I have to suspend disbelief is I just don't know in what assassin school they would teach you that was necessary.
Well, they all come after him.
The first shot would kill him.
Have you not seen any of the John Wick stuff?
I've seen the first movie only.
Well,
I know that it's violent. I just don't know the logical side of me is thinking the one shot would kill him. Why would he waste bullets?
See, you think that, but you're fighting other assassins, so you need more.
So you want to scare them?
No, you need more because they don't die like you think a normal person would die. It's not enough.
Directly through your throat.
They can still kill you.
Your cranium.
Yeah, they can still kill you.
Somehow he can come back from that unless you shoot him like 4 or 5 times.
Well, everybody's commenting. Donnie Yen, he is 59 years old.
Yeah.
And he looks amazing in this. And then Keanu is 58. So, like, they're still doing this.
Yeah, there's something about like the cool action movies. They actually tend to revolve around like guys that are older than you think they are. Tom Cruise, Keanu in this. If you go back to some of my favorite movies with Liam Neeson and like the Taken movies, obviously he's getting up there and even was back then. So I don't know. There's just something about like, the grizzled.
They age well.
The grizzled veteran, of acting is able to really pull off these gritty violent action movies.
I told Hudson off air, I'm worried because last time I went to the theater, I saw Violent Night. And probably the next time I'll go to the movie theater will be to see John Wick.
Yeah.
Which means I'm only seeing violent movies.
The movie theater is going to build a profile on you.
They are.
And they might actually call somebody.
But
some authorities.
If they release any other new Jane Austen takes, that'd be great. I'd go see that too. That's the only two I'll go for.
Yeah. Well, it feels like there's not as much of a market for those for some reason.
Oh, I like that.
Hey, they're already eating anyways. Might as well do it on the show. The Riot with Nikki and Hudson. RadioU.
I've got a new tactic you can try out on your dating apps if you want to have success like this woman. Her name is Leah Nicewander. 24 years old.
Well,
lives
she sounds
in Florida.
nice.
I was thinking the same thing.
A wanderer, but nice.
She's I can't say this word.
Anesthetician?
Yes. And her tactic that helped her get 17 dates in 30 days is that she posted her credit score, her exceptional credit score, on her Hinge profile.
Oh, that's a fun idea.
And it got a lot of attention among the guys on there. She says it looks like over 100 men wound up being interested. And again, she's already gone on 17 dates in 30 days, which means maybe this is attracting the wrong people. If you have to go on 17 and 30, your hit rate not doing super great.
Well, she just wants to, meet as many people in the beginning as possible.
Give a bunch of guys a chance. It's like a dating show.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh,
she's the Bachelorette.
You could call it the score.
The score.
You could just totally go with that.
So as a dater, first of all, would this work on you if you saw a gal that had her credit score posted up on her profile?
Does she look like Leah?
Well, okay, looks aside, would it improve? Like, could it make a gal you found less attractive more interesting if the credit score was really great?
I think that there's like positives and negatives to it.
Okay.
I think if I saw this in a profile, I would say, oh, she has a really high credit score. Like, she's responsible, a lot of good things there.
Too responsible.
But then
she
I'm
might not be any fun.
I'm looking at it, I'm like, maybe she seems kind of weird. Like, why would you put that on there? Seems kind of odd.
I think it needs to be the other way. Like, if you want to date her, you got to show your credit score. Because,
I'll toss up the credit score. I've got a good credit score.
That was the next thing I was going to ask. Is it exceptional, though?
I don't know if it's exceptional.
Yeah.
But I'd say it's pretty good. 811 is a good score.
That is remarkably high, which is probably why she's getting so much attention.
I'm a few points higher.
Oh.
Okay, Nikki.
Maybe you should get back out there.
Congratulations on all your success.
I worked very hard at that.
Yeah. It's not easy getting the credit score up that high.
We're not hearing much about Hudson's credit score.
I would never post my credit score on a dating app now.
It's rebuilding, too.
It's rebuilding. It's a rebuilding year.
Rebuilding
credit
yeah.
score.
Because I think it could be intimidating because I assume some guys are worried, like if you're going to date a girl and she's like super just wanting to find the one. And so dating is not going to be as fun.
Mm-hmm.
And so this makes it feel like if your credit score is not close to hers, why
You could
bother?
take advantage of her?
Yeah, like you could either take advantage of her credit score, she can sign for you, or like it'll be always a thing that she's maybe a bit more responsible with money.
Yeah, and I think too, like obviously her credit score is 811, which is great. But then I look at, she's an anesthetician, and if you know anything about anestheticians, they make a lot of money. So I think there's a lot of things that are going for
You can make
Leah
a lot
here.
of money and still have bad scores.
That's
You
right.
could, yeah. I mean, I don't. The credit
responsible.
score is good, no, but I'm saying that Leah here with the 17 dates in 30 days, I don't think that the credit score is carrying that. I think it's her pretty face and her. Seems like she has a fun personality.
And you could
with
get
us.
free facials and like skin stuff. That'd be nice.
What? I thought it was like an esthetician, like she puts you out when you're.
That's an anesthesiologist.
It says she's an anesthesia technician.
Oh, I thought it was an esthetician. That's like skincare.
Anesthetician.
Okay, never
There's too
mind.
many of them. She puts people to sleep.
Yeah, that's different.
Oh, she
That's a
does
little
make
different.
good money.
She makes a lot of money. She's an anesthetician.
Yeah, but no, we can go with the other thing too. Maybe she will give you facials. I don't know.
Either one.
But where was I going with this? I think the one problem you could have with this is I feel like this would, if you're like seriously looking for dates, it would most attract other guys that have good credit scores as well, because they'd be like, oh, this gal, she's not gonna drain my credit score down, because a lot of guys would be afraid of that. The problem is you got to have I think in a relationship you got to have a good balance. You got to have a person that's real good with money and a person that sucks with it, because the person that sucks is probably more fun.
Sure.
So then they kind of take the person that's good with money and make them have more fun, because if you have two people that are too good with money, they might wind up getting bored.
They'll have more money.
No, yeah, but what are they doing with it? Sitting
if-
around doing nothing, not having any
I don't
fun.
think that's
If the
ever an
person
issue.
gotta have a
doesn't have a good
balance. You
score,
gotta
that
have a
means they're
balance.
spending too much money and they're going to drag her score
So you
down.
got to equal out.
And I
you got to
think-
cancel each other out.
I think you'd be shocked at the kind of guys that are way below this girl's league that are going to shoot their shot. They're not going to be like, dang, she's way too cute and
I
her
know.
credit score's too great. I won't even try. They're going to just send it anyway.
I know
Send the
that-
like
well,
anyway.
nothing will stop. I mean, the other thing that is the question is, she probably would have gotten a lot of guys anyway. You know what I mean? It's just you're on
That's
a dating app,
true.
you're a gal. There's you're gonna do just fine.
Well, she said that she got the most likes on that picture that showed her credit score. So
Good
she got
conversation.
lot
It's a
of
conversation starter, that's for sure. Well, it's something you can try, as long as you have exceptional credit.
Or is
I
it
wouldn't
a jump
advise
start?
it the other way.
If you don't have a good one, you're just like, well,
I'll toss it up there
Yeah,
anyway.
that's right.
Middle of the road.
Cards on the table.
Yep.
Disinformation, mispronunciations, bad impressions. That's Hudson. This is The Riot on Radio U.
I have some concerns. And so do psychologists that are getting worried that young people are developing an entitlement complex. This is not like
I don't think you need a study to show that we all have that.
no, it's the young people are the new generations. We're talking millennials, Generation Z, the younger generations.
What's the age range here? I'm just wondering.
I never
adults
remember them.
up to like 40 years old, basically. Pretty wide range.
Got it.
But they're saying, the psychologists are saying that the younger generations that are growing up are more entitled than the previous generations that came before us. An entitlement complex is
Then
actually...
that means it's your parents' fault, which is that generation. So they're the ones that did it.
Yeah. All right. Yes.
They entitled you.
We got it too good because of our parents. So here's what they say are the symptoms or examples of having an entitlement complex. So call these out if this is you. Disregard of rules. No, Nikki's very orderly. Freeloading. No, you guys don't think? What about causing inconveniences?
Oh, no, because that would make you a problem.
That would make you an issue. Causing
An issue.
inconveniences.
I told you I
Yeah.
don't like to be an issue.
Okay, now this is Nikki. Like to assume the role of leader when working in groups.
Oh, I'll
You're
take
always
it.
taking charge.
But I
This
think
makes it
that's-
sound like you're a little entitled to me.
I think it's just because the people around me are not taking it. And so
Probably.
therefore, one person
yeah, because
has
we're
to.
not entitled like you.
Okay, guys.
But they say that entitlement complex is it's like a part of a narcissistic personality disorder. So, or at least it can be. So, and if you look at the symptoms of being narcissistic, a sense of entitlement, lack of empathy, need for admiration,
Stop. Jeez.
Who sounds like that?
Goodness gracious.
Yeah.
Well,
those are my main characteristic traits.
You always thought those were the bonus ones.
I thought those were good ones.
The entitlement complex I don't identify with, but the narcissism, that's it hits a little close to home.
They say that if you feel like you have the entitlement, like extreme levels of that, that can then lead to, yes, a toxic narcissistic trait, which people won't like because if there's people around you, they're going to feel frustrated, unhappy, disappointed. There'll be lots of issues with that. So they just said maybe that's not the best.
The problem is because I'm narcissistic, I don't care about other people. So
no empathy.
I have no empathy. So you're going to have to tell me another drawback if you want me to change. Or get some kind of therapy or something.
They're confronting someone with these limitations is threatening to an entitled person because it violates their worldview of self-superiority. Nice.
Yes, that would be threatening to me. I don't know. It feels like I don't know. I guess I don't know enough about psychology to really know the difference
Ask
between...
me, I'll explain it to you.
Okay.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Or do you feel entitled?
Yeah.
I would no.
He's not a freeloader.
Do you feel narcissistic?
I would never.
Okay.
I would never. I let Hudson play that role.
Yeah.
I leave that to him.
Are you easygoing then? What do you consider yourself to be?
What's your personality disorder?
I would say I'm an easygoing guy. Roll with the punches, roll with the flow.
That doesn't fly in the face of being narcissistic, does it?
I wouldn't say so.
As long as the flow leads to your praise and admiration.
Precisely, as long as it leads to compliments.
I'm just looking up all the personality disorders, and they're in clusters.
So we can figure out which one we each have.
It's like,
I think it is pretty clear Isaiah and I are both very narcissistic.
Whoa!
Which is why we butt heads so much, I think.
We can't decide who's more.
Yeah.
And then therefore, I'm the one who has to be left in charge to do this stuff.
Yeah. Do you have like middle child syndrome or something? You're the peacemaker?
No, I feel like the mom sometimes to you guys.
Yeah.
It's like, please don't do that. Boys!
Please stop doing that.
Stop it.
Enough.
You have to whip us into shape.
Like we are turning around.
I think we shouldn't go any deeper with this. We might uncover a lot of issues that we have.
No, and then you feel sad if you find one.
I think we're all great.
Yeah.
We don't have anything wrong.
We're perfect.
There's a positive person.
It's other people that need to change.
Exactly.
That's enough of that. For more Riot content, head to riot.radiou.com.